here he is to do his very famous number. Ladies and gentlemen, Rolf Harris.
With his extra leg, wherever I go through rain and snow, the people always let me know. There's Jake the peg, with his extra leg,
Croeso and welcome to Tales for Wales, the pod that never fails to get the nation's most illustrious guests, the VIP of the VIPs. I'm Jack, and as always, I'm joined by my brother-in-arms, Franco.
Oh, yeah?
But today, we've got a special addition to the mix.
Buongiorno.
If you're
Welsh, I don't know why I start with such a level.
We're multicultural, mate. We're in all sorts of countries. Don't worry.
Confidence.
I would say if you're a fanos of the pod, sit down, grab a canos. Let me introduce the manos that is Jake Abanos.
That was pre-written.
Oh, yeah.
That's pre-written. You've been thinking of that all week.
Oh, mate, I typed it down just before you came on. Actually, I've got to got this down. This is gold. I can't let the fans not hear it.
Are we starting on the drinks now?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
I think I heard a can open.
It's
yeah, I was
choice,
gonna
mate,
say.
but I mean, I'm on my third, so you know, I'm
Oh,
already
shit,
ahead of the
I'm
game.
lacking.
Well, I
Right,
started. I had a long day in work, so I had one during work, and this is my second now, so not too far behind
Forklift
me.
driver.
Yeah. Just looking after the kids, really.
Just taking the edge off.
Pediatric surgeon, yeah.
What is everyone drinking? I know I saw a pre-glimpse beforehand, because before we started the record, we quickly showed what we were drinking, and I thought Jake was on the Archers, but I don't think it
Oh,
is.
no, far classier than that. It is a bottle of extra smooth, triple distilled Glen's vodka.
Glenny
Produced and
boy.
bottled in, bottled in Scotland.
To anyone who is outside of the UK, that's a very pristine, premium kind of
Yeah, I think
spirit,
it was
okay?
£17 for an entire 70 CL.
Of the king's finest, yeah.
Yeah, it's got two little dragons on it and everything. I'm just going to crack the seal. I don't know if you can hear this. Oh, my hands are wet. Can you hear that?
Oh, beautiful.
You'll love to hear it.
There we go. I'll just pop it into a pint glass so I look manly.
Jack, put the mic a tiny bit closer to your gob again, mate.
How's that?
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
Marginally
I'm literally
better.
kissing it every time I speak now.
Yeah, that's what I want to picture.
Sexy.
Audience want to hear you whisper sweet nothings in their ear.
Just the closest to my lips you can get. That's what it's about.
Well, for the uninitiated, Jake, so people who don't know Jake, then Jake creates really funny videos about where to go in Wales. You're a Welsh ambassador on TikTok, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm not sure why they chose that title for me, to be honest.
I love it. You get to go to a TikTok embassy. All countries have a virtual embassy.
Well, I started off with pretty tame. Well, not tame. It was kind of just facts and, a bit of history about South Wales and surrounding areas and stuff. But then I started exploring further. I live in Cardiff. Exploring further than Cardiff and just essentially just taking the kids away to places they've never been before. Those places were Merthyr Tydfil, etc. And I started recording it. And what I noticed is I wasn't being negative, but if you kind of
Rib it.
If you're not positive, rib it. That's the polite way to say it. If you're not positive, people go crazy for it.
Yeah. They're very funny as well.
Oh, thank you so much, mate. I try my bloody hardest.
Well,
I really do.
My partner showed me. She went, "Oh, have you seen this video?" And I was like, also, my partner never listens to the podcast, but she showed me a video. She went, "Oh, have you seen this guy? He's really funny." I was like, "Ha! He's coming on my podcast." She was blown away.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, she was
That's
very
so good.
impressed.
I really like
people
that
in
one you
work.
did, mate, with it was you went to the so-called rough pubs of Cardiff, and you went to the Fairwater
Yes.
and the Master Gunner and stuff like that. And it was what I liked about it is I have been personally too scared to go in such pubs before.
So have I.
So when you went in, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should check my prejudice a little bit. And we're all human beings at the end of the day, whether you're in what is considered a rough boozer or not.
Yeah.
They were just normal. That's what really frustrated me. That it's sort of the community hub, isn't it? The pub.
Yeah,
And that rhymes.
absolutely.
You say frustrated then, like as if, I really want to get like glassed on my video and like get the
Well,
views
yeah, it
up.
would have been better for the content if I got
It's
beaten
all
up.
about
Or
content.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
We are massive advocates for the pub. We think the pub is like it's such an important avenue of like community. And I live down the bay, which
Definitely.
is like has had loads of its like community smashed apart. So
Show off.
Well,
That's the bloody posh parts as well, is it?
there was a murder on my street 2 weeks ago, so I'm on.
All right, I'll let you off.
I'm Butte Street, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well,
so I'm just on the cusp of it being like Bay, but also there's a couple of murders, so I get the best of both.
Give him
I
a
get to
bloody
keep it
NI
real.
number while you're at it, mate. Christ.
Yeah, I'll give them my flat and they can pop over.
yeah. These are my top 10 fears if anyone wants to come round.
Breaking and entering, being number one. Yeah.
So yeah, but we got Jake on because he's a great ambassador for Wales. He's really fun. And you're very much in keeping with the vibe of this podcast, which is not very serious, but try to be informative in where we.
Well,
where
you
we
read
are.
out one of my DMs. I can't remember what episode it was, but it was maybe bloody hell, maybe 4
I remember
months
that.
ago, something like that.
I remember because I
Yes.
said that really, really good joke, and I said I was a fanos of that comment. You can tell I'm a bit of a one-trick pony when it comes to doing these things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. But we're not here to talk about. Oh no, I did write. Oh no, hang on, let me try this again. Well, I said something about. Why did I write that down? I said here, but we ain't going to talk about no hot spots on here. I don't know why I said that, but I think I had a joke about you being online and something digital. But it's completely. Yeah.
Well, you've nailed it, mate. You've absolutely nailed that one.
Raw sex appeal.
I don't know what I wrote down. My notes, because I was working like fucking crazy today. I thought, oh shit, I best write some stuff down. And I just wrote down the words, no hotspots. We're talking about spooky tales. So that's where my mind's at. Yeah,
done.
But that's
If
what
we believe
today.
it works, the people listening will. So there.
And I'm probably
Great.
going to edit this, so that might never
make it.
anybody's ears. But we're not going to talk about. Oh, that's why I said hotspots, because you often show hotspots in Cardiff and hotspots in Wales where to go. You often say, "Oh, this place is good."
My goodness.
Jake, if you're under any illusion, if you're thinking like, oh, they're having a bit of an off day, this is every single recording that we do.
You do know that I listen to your podcasts, so I know that this is.
Sure, yeah.
And the fact that you
Garbage.
pretended you were gonna, edit it out. I think this will be kept in.
Yeah.
This will probably be one of the best bits.
Yeah, cannot be asked to edit out. I don't. We have like a bunch of American listeners. I have no idea what they get from this. I'm always so confused when I see our American numbers. But you're in for a ride today, our Yankee Doodle dandies. But anyway. So today we're going to discuss some spooky tales. And do you want to tell us why? What's your fascination with the spook?
Well, I'll start off with I don't believe in any of it. I don't believe in ghosts or anything at all.
Thank
But
God.
I also wouldn't say I was, a skeptic. So I'm kind of interested in the story that people actually believe this shit.
I love that.
Right,
And that's where it kind of comes from. And I know that you both do it. You've got loads of books about Wales and you read up on it. But the things that interest me the most is the odd, the curiosities.
They make
And there's
folklore,
loads.
don't they? Like most of what we
Yes.
cover is folklore, and that's kind of what spooky stories can be.
we have that same sort of interest in that. It's like the stories we tell, isn't it? Like why do certain stories kind of permeate through history?
Yeah. Well, the podcast, I don't know if it was this week, but I listened to it, and that was on folklore, wasn't it? Welsh folklore.
Yeah,
So
we've
there was
done
a lot in that.
I
mean, yours are far more cleverer than the mainstream shit that I'm going to be spewing out in a bit.
Well,
but
I've done one as well, and mine is. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to be offensive if you believed in ghosts, because I was like, because I don't believe in ghosts. But I'm quite glad that you said that, because I do really enjoy the stories, and like me and Jack absolutely love horror. So I actually went over to Jack's house on Tuesday for a horror night where we just watched back-to-back horrors.
Didn't even have a drink either. That's very unusual for us.
On a Saturday?
No, it's Tuesday night.
Oh, it's Tuesday. Sorry, I thought you
Yeah.
said Saturday. Right.
No,
No drinking on a Saturday. Come on,
Yeah.
lads.
Yeah.
Behave.
Yeah, it's only
And
daft,
people
mate.
at
We
home,
would never commit that sin.
No, but it's a Thursday tonight, and I haven't really been drinking much recently, so I'm gonna have a good couple tonight. I'm really excited for it. So if you're at home listening, grab yourself a can, join the pub atmosphere, park the car.
Or a spirit.
Ooh, spirit.
Oh, there's a theme.
He's
Well,
a
do you want to
natural.
kick us off?
He's a natural.
Do you want
What,
to
me?
start us off?
Straight into it?
Yeah, I reckon so. What do you reckon? We got some. We can
I'm
go.
happy to. Yeah.
We'll probably do between stories. We'll probably do a little debrief, won't we, on each one,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
chat about
Yeah,
it.
or maybe I do one, then one of you do one,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
go round,
let's do that.
round
Sounds
the
good,
room.
man.
Yeah.
So,
Seance.
seance, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone join hands, take your top off, and your trousers. Come on, we're gonna jump right on in.
Let's jump
Right,
on
so
in.
I've got my little notes here. So here we go. So this is the story. Do let me know if you've heard this as well before I sort of start telling you. So this is the story of the Green Lady of Caerphilly Castle.
Ooh. No.
Have you heard it?
No, but I've seen a lot of green ladies throwing up.
Hang on, that's in my notes.
Oh,
Hang on one
fuck's
sec.
sake. Well, I'm going to edit that out.
Spoiled it. I'll start again. So this is the story of the Green Lady of Caerphilly Castle. Too many ofs in that sentence.
Ooh, again.
So, you lads, we all know that Caerphilly Castle is the second largest in the UK after Windsor. But are we really counting Windsor because it's not old enough?
And it's a shit castle. It doesn't even look like a castle.
It's bullshit.
It's
And
across the bloody
there for the
border
run.
as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Piss off. Come on.
Losers.
Also, as well, you probably know this, but the tower is a bit on the piss, and it's more of degrees out than the Eiffel Tower. Do you know that?
Oh, didn't know that.
You're saying we're better than France?
Close.
Claim. Bold
Italy.
claim. Oh yeah, shit. Yeah. Christ.
All of Europe.
Shouldn't have had those two cans before. That's...
I've got a little sub note here. Apparently, there's a cocktail bar called 10 Degrees in Caerphilly.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently it gets its name because the tower is out by 10 degrees. Now, I'm not 100% sure. That's not... Someone Google that.
Facts has never been an issue for us. We're fine.
just
don't let them get away with things, mate.
Say them with confidence and someone will believe you.
Yeah.
So the castle was built in the 13th century by Gilbert de Clare. I am getting onto the ghosts. This is all relevant. Built in the 13th century by Gilbert de Clare. Now, the castle is haunted by Gilbert's wife.
Oh my God, it's all come back.
It's all come back. Yeah, I've noticed as well that my notes are poorly written. So the name of this ghost is Princess Alice. Alice was really fit, French,
Nice.
had refined taste, and loved parties.
Ledge.
Go on, girl.
And hated her husband as well.
Go on, girl.
Good girl. Get in there, Alice. And one day during one of these parties, a guy called Griffith the Fair, Prince of Brythdir, visited the castle. Alice, being a proper lad, fell in love with Griffith, and they soon became lovers.
A couple of hotties shacking up at the party. Classic.
Exactly.
Tale as old time.
Yeah. These were biggies, Carlins, Stellas, Glens,
Free bar.
classy parties. Now, for some mental reason, I don't know why, Griffith got a bit guilty and told a monk. The monk was Yeah, exactly. I don't know what he was thinking. Now, the monk was a bit of a grass and told the husband, Gilbert. So as a response, Gilbert got all pissed off and sent Alice, remember the princess, the ghost, back to France. Now, Griffith, the really handsome man, wanted his revenge on that bastard monk, and he hanged him from a tree at a site known as Monk's Vale. Now, I've Googled that. It doesn't seem to exist anymore. Maybe it didn't ever exist. I don't know. But anyway, shortly after he did...
Stitches get stitches, don't they?
Exactly.
That happens even in the medieval times. You can't
true.
deny it.
Yeah, rat grass. Shortly after that, Gilbert's men killed Griffith, Again, they hung him, which was a custom of the time, the fashion, if you
Loved the
like.
hanging, didn't they? Yeah.
They loved it. They loved it. Loads of trees, loads of ropes. Um, so the husband then sent a message via carrier bird, made that bit up, to France to tell Alice that he'd killed her lover because he was like really proud of it and stuff. Rather childishly, Alice died of shock instantly.
That's how I want to go out.
Weak-minded.
Well, when I read that, I was like, Jesus, Alice, what about all the partying and the drugs and whatever?
That's how she died. That's because she's had too much blow. It's just too much Charlie, and it's just seen off her heart.
I can take a keg of Stella and some Columbia marching powder, but can't take a nasty letter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And France is lovely as well, so she's probably well chill there.
She could have been looking at the Leaning Tower of Pisa, in the morning.
Yeah.
Great.
Exactly. Yeah, looking at the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, getting on the Autobahn.
Yeah.
Fields of oyster.
So then, Alice flew back because she was now a ghost and is said to be hanging around Caerphilly Castle to this day. So she appears as Ivy around the castle, and apparently you can see her moving slightly. And if she thinks that you can see her, eye contact or something, she'll come out and greet you and then disappear very quickly. Now, like you said, Frank, there's loads of mentions in Caerphilly to the Green Lady. There's a pub called the Green Lady by Home Bargains, which is just outside the town centre. There's murals and stuff. Yeah. Now, the bubble is about to be burst.
Ooh.
So I googled the living shit out of this, and the question is, did it happen? No.
Oh.
I know. So I googled it. So the princess was called Princess de Lissignan. Lissignan? I don't know.
That's nothing like Alice.
Yeah.
So some mamby-pamby French stuff. That's racist. Feel free to cut that out or leave it in.
I'll cut it out. Put it back in and turn it up.
Yeah. So this Alice bird never actually stepped foot in the castle. The end. So your little pub, load of bollocks.
Well, actually, I was doing a joke saying I've seen a lot of women look green because they've drunk too much booze in Caerphilly. That was my hilarious joke.
10 out of 10.
Good.
That is a rough night out.
I love it.
I really liked that bit of the story where you said, so she flew back because she's a ghost. As if duh.
Well, yeah,
she's going to come back to Caerphilly, of all the places.
She's not going to go on a boat, is she?
Yeah, easy jet.
Yeah, in between haunting, she's not going to haunt a boat for a bit and then a taxi.
Exactly.
Well,
that'd be silly, wouldn't it?
Can I? I love a segue. So can I segue in with a quick ghostly story? Again, this isn't really a ghost story, but talking of a boat, the captain's wife in Sully.
Yeah.
So if people who don't know, down in South Wales on the coastline, there's a pub between Barry and Penarth called Captain's Wife, which is next to a place called Swanbridge Bay, which is where I actually proposed to my fiance. So I have a strong affiliation to this place. But anyway.
She don't listen to this, mate. Why are you trying to impress?
Yeah. And I said, "Oh, nice," as if I was like, "Oh, yeah, really into that." Carry on.
Anyway, she's next door, so she can always hear.
All right, yeah. Kudos. Make her listen to this one.
I'll just cut this bit out and say, "See, this is all the podcast is." The Captain's Wife, it's found in Sully, and it's it sparked tales of pirates and smugglers over the years because there's a little island just off it called Sully Island, which you can reach to at low tide, and it's also a place where the Normans used to shack up, and there was a monastery not far, so there was always a place of smugglers' cove and all that sort of shenanigans. Anyway, it's said to be haunted by several spirits, but one of them is the captain's wife, who appears as a dark, disorientated shadow. And the reason she's disorientated is because, according to legend, the captain's wife died, and her body was kept in a box that was mistaken for treasure and stolen by local pirates, and her body was never laid to rest. So they came in, they took this box, thought they got a bunch of plunder, and then sailed off and realised it wasn't. So the ghost, she's trying to find her way home. And
so she's in the captain's wife. She's in that boat.
Yeah, I mean, she's not because she's not real, but she was real.
Oh, yeah,
that's
true.
exactly where she would be coming back.
Yeah,
but they say she's
absorbed by the story.
But she could be
scene with the pirates. Come on, lads, open her up. Wait a minute, this isn't a load of gold. This is a dead woman. It's what have we done?
Yeah, so But like you said, Alice came back on a boat, so maybe this is the same lady who was on a boat. So the ghosts might be
I never
on
said she came
boats.
back on a boat.
No, he said he
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
come
Flew.
back on a boat.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, up in the air, straight over, down you come.
Yeah.
Easy.
So no connection, but a good couple of stories nonetheless.
Yeah,
I love
work
it.
smart, not
Yeah.
hard.
That was my first one, and it's only a shorty, so that's done. Thank you. Bye.
That is the end of that one. I've
Great.
got one in the chamber. If someone wants me to fire off,
Absolutely.
I've got so mine's
Jack, you're
a-
so far away with the
Is
mic
it?
issue.
How's
Yeah.
this? I'm kissing it
Oh,
again.
oh
now.
yeah,
Is that better?
That's better.
yeah. Because when you were
Honestly.
I couldn't hear you when you were speaking. I was like, oh shit, I've missed half of that.
All I'm worried about is, can you hear like the breath coming out?
No,
as well?
you're not
'Cause
peeking or
that's-
anything.
It's the
You're-
best part.
yeah.
So you
Even if I
sound-
was hearing it, I wouldn't tell you.
you sounded
yeah.
better now, though. So just keep it close to your
Okay.
gob and
I'll
shut
hold it.
up.
I'll hold it and just get on with it. Yeah. All right. So my one is a bit of a two-parter. I was researching this because this was a
Boring.
story. Don't you start.
Sorry.
So
What are you, Toy Story?
I.
4 parts, got it wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Very good.
Do you want to correct the guess?
Yeah. So this one is called again reminiscent of the Green Lady. This is the White Lady, or Y Laddie Wen in Welsh, and I knew this song because this story because I was told it when I was growing up around where I live, which was Sinafin. But when I was googling this, there's an official version that is very, very different from mine. So I'll tell you the official version first, right? This is the Laddie Wen, or the White Lady. And is associated with Ogmore and Bridgend mainly.
I think I know this. I
You
think
might
I do.
I think because I went to school around that area. Lots of people have different like sort of versions of
I
this.
schooled in Ogmore.
You
Sounds
schooled
posh.
in Ogmore? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
All right. Yeah, neither did Jack. He schooled in Barry.
Yeah.
You liar. I schooled there one summer.
We'll
On the
compare
beach.
notes now when I say this. So this is one that the
I'm not
official,
100% sure I
apparently.
know it. I'm not 100% sure.
So this is
Is
the
it got? Can I
official
just
logline.
sort of ruin it a bit? And just,
Yeah, go on.
Is it-
Spoilers.
is it got-
Yeah.
has it got something to do with those stepping stones?
No. So you might have yet another version. You might have a triple version. We're getting closer to Toy Story after all.
Yeah.
And I'll add the fourth
Frantically.
part. I'm actually getting married down opposite those stepping stones.
Oh,
So
fuck
Oh,
off!
so
Come on,
your
let it
missus will
go.
be the other White Lady, the fourth White Lady.
we're having our photos taken in that castle down in Ogmore. So I'd love to know the stepping stone aspect, but we'll let you.
I don't
have
know
your-
the stepping stone aspects. I'm frantically googling it. I just took a punt. I thought it had something to do with the White Lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm a fraud.
You're an absolute fraud.
You've been uncovered. So I've forgotten where I fucking was now. Right, yeah. So this White Lady, the official line is that there was a spirit there, long said to wander around the area in Ogmore and Bridgend, until finally a man had the courage to approach her. When such a man eventually did so, the spirit led him to some treasure. And it was a cauldron filled with gold, right? It was.
Right.
I'm getting to it right. Listen now.
Right, come on now.
Anyway, so
And
this
he's talking.
gold-filled cauldron was hidden under this heavy stone in the tower of Ogmore Castle. The spirit said, "You're allowed to take half and go on your merry way." However, the man was a greedy guts. He kept coming back, taking more and more little doubloons, and then the spirit got very angry. And apparently fingers grew into claws, and she attacked the man. The man became really ill. He was poisoned after this, but he only died after he'd confessed his greed. So he was in like perpetual poisoned agony until he admitted that he was a greedy guts. After that, there was an ailment in the area known as Y Laddie Wen's Revenge, which was said to befall any person who died prior to disclosing hidden treasure, which is incredibly specific. But the version I heard was very different. The version I was told was about a lord, I don't know how familiar you are with that sort of area, of a place called East Orchard Castle.
No.
It's it's not too far from St. Athan. And this lord, he married a beautiful woman, went off to fight in the Crusades. While he was out there, he was, I don't know, had too much time to think, I guess, and he was thinking that his missus was shagging about. And so when he came home from the Crusades, he was convinced that she'd been cheating on him. So he punished her by burying her up to the neck in one of the fields. There's a place called, I think what it's called now, something Orchard Field. And basically he said the only person that's allowed to visit you is your sister. So the sister would wear a long dress, walk through the dew in the mornings, and then the lady buried up to her neck would like suck on the dress to get like a bit of moisture. And like obviously she didn't live long. I mean, it probably prolonged her life a little bit, but that was it.
Dress
And then
water? Didn't live
dress
long.
water, lovely dress
Come
water.
on. Bit of pocket
anyway.
meat as well. Have that.
It's on the NHS, that is.
yeah, the old dress water. But she eventually died, and then ever since she's apparently you can see her spectre wandering the fields around. Was it East Orchard Castle? So those are the two versions I know of the White Lady.
Yeah, I'd never heard that before. I don't know what I was thinking of, but that was 10 out of 10. Where did you find that story? Those stories?
Well, the first one, I googled the White Lady St. Athan, thinking I was going to get my version, and I got this completely new version I'd never heard before. That was the first one. But the second one, I was just told that. I remember in school, in primary school, I went to primary school in Cowbridge actually, and they told us about that one. And then I know that other people have had sort of semi-similar versions where like there's certain details are changed. Like some people were saying it's like back from further back than the Crusades. Some people are saying it's more recent, like in the 1800s and stuff. But yeah, that's the one I knew anyway. And I just remember very specifically the sucking on the dress, because I thought,
sucking on my dress like you wanted me.
Sucking on my dress like you wanted me thirsty all the time.
I'll drop that song
Check out my woozy. Yeah, go on, may as well.
Yeah.
Drop that bad boy in.
Yeah, 3 minutes of that, and then back to the stories.
Suck the water away. Boop, boop.
So over to you now, Jake, for your next one.
I'm jealous of that story.
Yeah, it's a good one, but that's why I want to
really
move on.
good.
I don't want to give him any more credit.
Was there one with the steps then, or did you completely
No,
make
I've
it
just
up, or was
Googled
it
it.
like adjacent?
No, just Googled it quickly. I just made it up.
Yeah,
I thought so. So there are these stepping stones in Ogmore, and I'm sure there's some sort of strange story associated with it. And that white, I think there's like, who is the White Lady of Ogmore? Well, yeah, that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the one I didn't know about before, and I thought, oh, I'll stick that in, and then I've got my own little bonus version then.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's some sort of mystery with those stones. But having quickly Googled it, didn't find anything interesting. So we'll.
That's all we do is a quick Google, mate. There's nothing
yeah.
more deep dive than a quick Google in this pod, so don't worry.
Yeah, pop out on the database.
My frantic tapping in the background when I Google things to make sure I'm not just lying.
That comes across in the. We can hear that in the podcast as well. We listen to it.
I got it.
We can hear that all the time.
When I edit,
I love it.
I cut that bit out. But Jack never
not
mutes
very
my
well.
typing. No.
I like it. I like it because it's like when you go, so was Gwen Thean actually around at that time? Yeah, I think she was actually, active from this era to that era.
When I edit, I mute it. Jack's just there to expose me, but I think
do it sometimes, but sometimes it's a lot.
No,
and you just think, just get it, just put it in.
Do you want to
love
do
it.
your next story?
Yes. Well, hang on. I'm just going to pull myself another.
Yeah,
double.
me actually.
Straight to the double. Good lad. I'll tell you what, I'll get myself another one as well. Fill my beer cozy.
Oh yeah. So for people at home, Jack's microphone isn't very loud, so he's had to keep the mic really close to his mouth. But that means he can't drink, so he's got a straw to drink Carlin out of a can.
What a square! Absolute boffin. Little milksop having to use a straw.
Franco.
And
Franco
did it. It's
absolutely
Mike.
throwing me under the bus. It was his idea. He went, put it there. I said, I can't really drink. And he went, can't you get a straw? Like, do it for the podcast.
My point was more that that just would be a pretty horrible experience having to drink Carlin through a straw.
And yet here I am, someone bleeding for the pod, bleeding for the profession.
That's actually, that's man of the match status, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but he also did
through a straw.
It's called
Jake, you're flip-flopping, mate. Whose side are you on? You're jumping ship. Quicker than bad TV reference.
I'm the single man, good cop, bad cop. I don't know who I need to impress.
Yeah, who's running the show?
Still trying to suss it all out. The beer cozy. Are we allowed that sort of thing? I've got one, but it's got Moomins on it.
I did mention to Franco before we started recording. I said I realised that it's something maybe someone in Australia would have, where it's actually too hot, and you can't keep beers cold. Like there's no reasonable explanation for having one in Wales, but it was gifted to me. I
love
like
it.
the feel of
But
it.
I don't know the
It
point
makes
of
you
it.
feel
them.
exotic.
It's to keep it warm. So you're obviously, your hand, your body temperature warms it up. It does
Yeah.
make a difference
To keep
if you're
it- keeps
drinking
the
it
beer
slow.
warm.
Am I right?
Oh, cold
keep-
even
Oh,
cold.
sorry. Yeah. Oh no.
The opposite
Maybe
of
I
what you
shouldn't
said.
have had
Yeah.
that double.
Yeah, it keeps your beer lovely and
It's
warm.
It's gone straight to my voice box.
Imagine that. Drinking fucking warm Carlin from a straw.
That would be.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
I know. So people, all my friends slam me for loving Carling, but I don't really like it in a pub. But when you get it ice cold in the freezer, in the fridge, like a can, it is banging. It just tastes of fuck all, and you can drink loads of it. But I do think the straw does
You-
throw me a little.
You've just hit the nail on the head. The reason that I can drink,
Glens.
Foster's.
Mm.
No, not Glenn. That goes down lovely. I won't have a bad word said about him. The reason I can only drink Foster's, Carlin, Coors Light, a Bud Light, if you will,
My
is because I
favourites.
can't. Yeah, I can't drink the high tasteness of the
Oh, mate,
beer.
hoppy shite. Yeah,
The
no,
hoppy shite. I didn't want to
we're the
say
same,
that.
mate.
Disgusting. I
No,
hate
we're the
them.
same.
Dirty.
Yeah.
If I
We
wanted to
always
wear a
say-
Hessian sack, I would. I don't know what I mean by that, but
They've always got
we
like
always say
fucking
piss lager, mate. Piss lager is
drink
what
piss
it's all
lager.
about.
The other ones always have like thyme and like like rosemary infused. It's like, I don't want a roast dinner in my pint. Just give me piss lager, please.
Yeah.
See anything like thrice hopped and all that on the can? Just fucking chuck it in the bin, man.
What's the
Just give me
seasoning
some
we
of the
always
cheap
say is
shit.
in it? We always say it's a.
I can't remember. Like barley or something like that. In it.
No, there's a
barley.
thing, but they always like they're so herby. It's like I don't want any of that shit. Just give me cold lager. Sorry,
I also don't think that the people who are really passionate about it, I think they're lying.
100%.
It's not
Agreed.
nice.
I
You
know.
don't have to lie to me. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can press your mates, at the football match if you need to. But
Yeah.
no. You're in my house. You can treat yourself to a Foster's.
I know what
It's
you
fine.
mean when they say like, no, it's amazing. It's got so many notes of fucking, I don't know, hibiscus or something like that, and you're just like, man, it sounds
just try
gross,
it.
and I know it tastes gross.
Just try it. Oh, go on and I'll try it. Just as I suspected, it tastes fucking foul.
Awful.
Yeah, it's rank.
Well done.
Yeah.
You treat yourself to the rest of that pint.
Yeah.
Absolutely
No shade on anyone who does drink that stuff. By the
a bit
way.
of shade.
No shade at all. But
Oh no, yeah. I love you guys.
Yeah,
No,
well, it's
lots
because
of
they
respect,
throw
yeah,
shade
yeah.
at me drinking Carling, and I wouldn't need to throw shade back. But they're always like,
Exactly.
yeah, let me have my Carling.
If you go up to the
Zero sum
bar and you're with people who drink that stuff, I actually
That
say to the people who are going to go, that dirty stuff. I actually say to the people there, what's your cheapest lager? Because I know that's going to be the best.
it's a simple equation. I figured it out long ago.
It was either brewed down the road by someone having a go, or the
Cheap
guys at
European
Carlin
lager.
that perfected it over a long, long time. And yes, the
Exactly.
chemicals are gorgeous.
They're beautiful. For my stag
say-
do, we were debating going to Burton on Trent, which is where they brew Carling, which would have been a mad stag do.
Oh,
Pretty
absolutely.
We did drive past it, and we were thinking, why don't we just set up shop like downriver from them? Just get like the off
Yeah.
spill, just take a pint glass and take it out of the river.
Yeah, the local brew today is Carlin. Perfect.
Yeah. Whereas otherwise, it's like, oh, have a glass of barley. I was like, I don't want a fucking glass of barley. Anyway,
I will say the Japanese, they know how to brew a lager. Asahi, baby.
Sound
That's
like
Oh,
a
what
nice
makes
Asahi.
yeah,
Yeah,
Asahi's banging.
Asahi. Now that is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But then,
Beautiful.
so it's got the prestige and the
Yeah,
acceptance
definitely.
of the beardy folk drinking
Yeah.
the Indian pale ales.
Yeah.
But what they don't know, it tastes like fucking Foster's, lads.
Exactly. It's just like Carlin branded up. It's like you can get away with. Oh, actually, I like a Asahi. You're like, oh, okay, you're part of the gang, but really, it's piss lager.
Japan's best kept secret. It's just Foster's in a fancy bottle, boys. That's all
It
it is.
Right,
Absolutely.
Let's go on to Jake's second spooky tale.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, we went on a bit of a lager riff there, didn't we? Go on.
I think it was all valid.
Yeah.
And I stand by it. Right, so it's less scary, this one, but more just ruddy interesting. So this is the story of the Bala Lake Monster. Oh, interesting. Now, you lads, you've obviously heard of this.
I don't think I have. I haven't really heard too many monstery vibes. I'm new to
No,
the
really?
monster scene.
I know the Avank is from up north. I don't know if it's Bala though.
So this one is only sort of come across my desk, spelt C-U-M, maybe a couple of months ago, and I've never heard of it before that.
I love that.
Very good.
That's
You
so on
dirty
brand.
monster.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right in because it's a lake. Just cut that for fuck's sake. Sound
Oh,
ridiculous.
no, that's staying. That's 100%
Edit
staying.
back in
Yeah.
louder once
Yeah.
again.
So we all know the famous Loch Ness. Right, start again. Jesus, lads, honestly, this sip
Those
of
Glens, mate. Glens are
Yeah.
deadly.
Yeah,
these are definitely triples as well.
yeah. When we do
Right.
3 records in one night, by the end, it takes fucking forever to read our notes.
Well, because you're so drunk.
Yeah. Just like,
You
well,
say that.
basically.
Do you know you say that on the podcast? Like we recorded one. We were so pissed. We just couldn't do anything with it. And I think, I bet that is a good episode.
Oh mate, there's like a handful in like the vault that'll just never be opened because like we're just like slurring. We go on, you know, like we just want to riff about Carlin and shit like that. Then we go on a riff. We go so far. We go, what were we even talking about? Like, you know, you just talking
Jesus.
nonsense.
Yeah.
2 hours of nothing.
Yeah, that's what it is. We go, we've got nothing here. We have to just bin it.
Right, we're going straight in. Hang on. I apologise.
Lovely.
Sorry. I'm not that much of a lad. Right. So we all know the famous Loch Ness. Oh, fuck me.
Loch
And
Ness
again.
Monster. Loch Ness Monster.
So we all know the famous Loch Ness monster. Well, there's one in Wales. So the monster lives in, you've guessed it, Bala Lake in Snowdonia National Park. So the real name of the lake is Llyn Tegid, Tegid.
Oh, yeah.
Tegid.
Yeah.
And the monster is nicknamed Teggy. So Teggy of Llyn.
Oh, I do know
Teggy.
Teggy.
You do know Teggy?
Yeah, I think they made like a kids' TV show about it when we were younger.
No, that's the Loch Ness family. Well, the Nessies.
No, yeah, but I think we went to Welsh primary school and maybe they just like rebranded Nessie as Teggy.
Teggy. I can't say I've heard of it. Maybe they didn't do it in Cowbridge. We were a bit up a brow for that, you know.
Yeah.
It was just,
Yeah. Walled City. Is that
Exactly.
Cowbridge? It is, isn't it?
Jack's from
It
St.
is, yeah.
Athan and he acts like
Oh, yeah.
he's never
I
once
know.
trying to be a posh lad, but he's trying to impress you.
Yeah, on
I
this
am
I'm just trying to
impressed.
show off. Yeah, just trying to show off.
I love
a bit.
it.
Maybe I made up the Teggy thing, but I think I do. Maybe I just, I might have.
You're thinking of Muzzy, mate? That's what you're
Possibly.
thinking
Maybe I
of.
am thinking of Muzzy. that was a Welsh TV show, wasn't
What's
it?
Muzzy?
Muzzy's
Oh,
like,
Muzzy. I know Muzzy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I found out later in life that he's not just Welsh. He's like
is he
loads
not?
of languages. Yeah, he
Oh.
can help you teach. He can teach you French, Italian, whatever.
You're
He just is
obsessed with
like
the French.
I know. I just keep talking about him. He's just a green fucking Shrek-like thing, isn't he? Fuzzy Shrek that just teaches you about language.
I didn't know
So-
that.
Quick divert. Super Ted from
Cymraeg. Yeah.
Cymraeg from Wales, Cardiff,
Yeah.
I believe. So the guy who invented him or drew him, whatever his name is, forgot his name. But anyway, he's moved to LA and he's like super famous now. So there's programs like Jakers and all things like that.
Yeah,
And-
I listened to an interview with him on.
Oh,
Russell
really?
Brand's- yeah, back when Russell Brand
Oh
wasn't
my
cancelled
God.
for-
This is how I know about him. So
Really?
he was on the Russell Brand Radio 2
Yeah,
show years and
which
years,
I
years ago.
loved.
Yeah, I listened to it to go to sleep. But anyway,
me.
his son is now a porn filmer.
Yeah.
I wish you'd have ended the sentence. Is now a porn. It's just now a
Filmer.
porn.
Mike Young,
Yeah.
that was it. Superhead Trader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The lore of Super Ted goes deep, doesn't it? Jesus,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
he did like Bratz as well, I think, or he did like a bunch of like big shows.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bratz, yeah.
Bratty sis.
Bratz Dolls? Was it Bratz
Yeah.
Dolls?
Yeah.
I was making. You guys aren't obviously as perverted as me. I was making a porn reference, but never mind.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah.
God. Go from porn
God.
videographer, porn
Yeah.
filmer.
Yeah.
I know. Where did I get the link?
Well,
I
that's
wonder.
it. You
Yeah.
sullied the evening.
Yeah.
I'll
Ruined the
take
chat,
my
possibly
leave.
the evening.
So he or she is affectionately known as Teggy of Llyn Tegid. So there's been reports of this 12-foot amphibian-looking thing in the lake since 1975. So it's fairly young. To put it in perspective, the first written account of the Loch Ness monster was in the 7th century. So Scotland's kind of got us on that
Oh.
front.
Yeah. winning quite by distance, but still,
Yeah, fair
nothing wrong with
distance.
silver, is there? It's fine.
No,
I-
exactly. Or bronze. I think this is more bronze. There's probably
Yeah, probably
many more.
bronze,
Yeah,
yeah.
better monsters
Platinum,
in
Participation.
the UK. Yeah,
Those-
award. Yeah, certificate at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I like when you hear about like big cats on the loose.
I love the black big cats in.
I love
Is
that.
it South Wales?
I think
Yeah,
so.
when they say
like
like there's
West,
a panther
Southwest.
escaped or something, that's always fun, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
there's a puma on the loose.
But they
or
used to
something.
have like people just used to have big cats until like the big cat
Wildcats,
like
yeah.
Wildcat Act came in. So
My mum keeps telling me of a story when she was younger. She grew up in Robina, where there was an announcement on the radio where there was a big cat that had escaped from a zoo, and that they were all told to keep indoors in South Wales.
that's fun.
But she is prone to lying, so take that with an ocean's worth of salt, if I'm honest.
Well, the only time we got told to stay indoors is when the like silicon factory down in Barry started to blow up, and it was like you had to stay indoors because the gas outside was really poisonous. You know, Dow Corning, the big like factory in Barry.
Gosh, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it was
What
like
was that?
So Dow Corning is like this massive silicon factory in Barry that's like really industrial, right down in like Barry, like when you drive into Barry from Cardiff, when you go like just
Yeah,
past
yeah.
the McDonald's,
Loads
it's
of
there.
towers smoking.
Yeah,
into
loads
the
of big
like,
smoking.
yeah.
It's a bit like Port Albert, but
Right,
smaller.
I think I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Everything
when
like
in like the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, they started to have like a leak and loads of dangerous gas came out, so they had to tell everyone to stay indoors. And it was because there was no internet. People just drove around in a car with a loud inhaler saying "Stay indoors" like that. I remember it was so exciting.
During a school day or weekend?
I think it was a weekender because I was at home.
Ah,
Classic.
I know. Anyway,
obviously, there's no real evidence of either the Bala monster or Loch Ness. However, again, what I would say is the Loch Ness photos, you all know them, if you Google them online, are far more convincing than the picture of Teggy, and which essentially, I think there's one and it just looks like a big log.
I'm just going to have to Google that now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Sorry,
to
Yeah,
but
if you
type in
Google
Taggy
Bala
Bala.
Lake Monster, and there's like, I can only find one picture, and it was...
it looks like a crocodile a bit, an alligator even.
Oh yeah, it very much
No,
does look
crocodile.
like just a bit of wood in the water, doesn't it?
Well, yeah,
Fair
that's
play.
right. It is a bit of wood. If you look at
Yeah.
it, squint a bit, that's a bit of wood.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
no
yourself a bit
no
of wood
mystery.
there.
It is wood.
Yeah.
It is,
Well, yeah, what you got yourself there is a lovely bit of wood.
Yeah.
So
I'm not-
Bala Lake is approximately 4 miles long.
Sorry. If you Google Tegged Monster and scroll down, there's a man holding a small fish, and he looks so upset at the small fish. It's like, is this fucking it? So Google Tegged Monster and scroll down a little bit till it says, "I look back at Barrow."
Taggy
Got a
Monster.
good mustache though on him.
He's got a great
This-
mustache.
There's a picture of him in black and white, and then I'm sure that's a colour picture of him with a hat on just underneath him as well. I'm so sure
Oh, I
that's
just
him.
found it.
Yeah.
About 30 years later.
Yeah, at North Wales X-Files. That's
Oh
hilarious.
Christ.
I like that, but I like him.
Yeah.
So
This is shit. Oh, man.
this is all I caught. So the lake is approximately 4 miles long, half a mile wide, 40 meters deep. So basically, there's loads of space for him to hide, or her. However, that didn't stop a Japanese film crew in a little submarine for 3 days in 1995 trying to find
Oh, that's quite
Teggy.
fun.
I'm assuming
they
they
found
found it,
nothing.
documented it. It was an official fucking monster.
They
yeah?
found nothing.
You're joking.
They found fuck all.
Oh.
Quelle surprise.
Yeah.
Having read that, I'm so sure that they did the same in Loch Ness. Japanese, I'm sure
Loch
Japanese
Ness-
businessmen.
I think Loch Ness is something like there's enough water in Loch Ness to fill every lake in the UK. It's fucking massive.
Oh,
So
really?
you couldn't possibly
Yeah.
search every corner of the lake, something like that, isn't it? Like he could be hiding in a little nook and
Yeah,
cranny.
when you check on the right, he's done a panto. He's gone to your left. He's done one of those little
yeah.
skibbity bobs over.
I'm sure I've heard that fact before. But anyway, apparently it was Bala Lake. There is also another theory that secret military experiments were carried out at the lake with seals, training them to plant limpet mines or strap them with dynamite to attack targets, and some escaped. Again, zero evidence.
Yeah, but cool nonetheless.
It's cool. Yeah, you can hire an Airbnb there to overlook the lake. I think it's just a tourist thing.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's book it,
Yeah.
and we'll stay there. And if we see it, we shoot
I don't
it.
mind. I don't mind paying the premium to have a look at Teggy. Have a
Yeah.
fucking ganders at him or
You
her.
can pay all the premiums you like, Jack. You ain't going to see it because it
Hang
doesn't
on.
exist. Unless that
If
log's
I-
still there.
I was going to say, if I see a log in the lake, mate, I'm going to prove you something wrong now. Like this.
There's loads of eyewitness reports all spouting the same bollocks that you can
Yeah.
find online.
You can't
I've
trust
actually got
people.
can't trust anyone. I've also got an additional fact around Barla Lake that cropped up when I was Googling it. Have I been talking too long? Or should
No,
I just
mate,
no,
hit
plow
us,
on
crack
it?
on, mate. Crack
Plow
on.
one in.
So, the town was originally ruled by Tegid Foal, a twattish prince that treated the locals badly.
Oh,
Um,
Tegid.
Tegid.
Naughty
Come on.
Teggy.
Anyway, he was warned to change his ways. He didn't. He had a big feast celebrating his grandson's birthday, and he hired a harpist. While the harpist was playing, he heard a warning. That was what did he say? He said, "Vengeance will come." So the harpist heard that. The harpist looked around like, "That's mental." He saw a little bird. He assumed the bird said it. The bird led him away up a hill. Tegid naturally fell asleep. When he woke up, the whole town was flooded, and his harp was sort of just washed up on the edge of the flood. I was going to say beach then, but it's not. It's just
Yeah.
sort of where the flood ended and Earth started. His
Yeah.
harp was just there, and it said that the town's ruin can still be heard on the right sort of day.
Oh, little double
Again.
spooky bubble there.
Oh, double
I know,
spooky
double bubble. I know.
I like
I'm quite proud of
that.
that.
I like that one
Yeah.
a lot. And
Yeah, it's
also-
because when I started investigating Barla Lake, I was like, this is a load of shite, this monster. So I thought, I've got to spruce it up. The Japanese didn't spruce it up too much. They just floated around in a little submarine. And the military was a load of shit as well. So, yeah, I just thought, add a bit of
The
detail.
thing is, we know the game, mate. When you deep dive like we do, when you cover every corner, every angle, you're
It's
gonna
hard
find
work.
some other stuff in it. You know, it's just part and parcel.
Also, I found myself scrolling through really interesting little one-liners, and I'm like, I'm going to be speaking all night.
Yeah.
Wales is fascinating, but
Absolutely, mate.
it's just knowing what you can and can't read after a couple. I struggle with Tegid,
Yeah.
and I don't even know if that was his name anymore. And I just said it.
I reckon we should do a beast episode where we just go through. We'll get Jake back on to go through some of the best beasts of Wales, because I think
Absolutely.
You got some good ones.
yeah, we have got a
Absolutely.
couple of goodies.
I'd hate to promote another podcast, so again, feel free to cut this out.
Yeah,
But there's
that's-
another podcast called The Unexplainers with Mike Bubbins.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Eggsy. Have you heard that?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't heard it and explain it. I've heard that other mad when they do together, which is just them doing voices. But explain what Unexplainers is.
It's called The Unexplainers, and they
Yeah.
basically they go around Wales and interview people on these weird sightings, and they talk about the big cats, UFOs just down the road in
Already got
Cardiff.
us hooked there. You know we're big cat fans, so you
Honestly,
got us in straight away.
Yeah, so
They've got another
you do
That
wanna
podcast.
sounds
do-
good, man.
if we're going to do an episode on beasts, we have to cut all this out because I'll be stealing all the content from their
I
podcast.
was gonna say, yeah,
They
binge some of
do-
their episodes,
so-
steal it.
We're fans of Bubbins, and he does the Socially Distant Sports Bar with Ellis James and Steph Guerrero, but he also does another one with Eggsy called The Demon Seed, and it is unlistenable
writing it
at
down.
times. It's so, even he admits, he's like, this is fucking mental. It's poorly edited, really bad microphones. It's them screaming at each other, but just doing accents like the entire time. There's no structure to it, but moments of it are fucking hilarious. Like actually, like side-splittingly funny.
I've written it down. I am going to listen to that. I couldn't get on with that Socially Awkward podcast. I just didn't like it.
I
I
didn't
do
like
like
the-
Mike Bubbins.
I didn't listen to. I listened to the first few, and then I stopped for like all of lockdown, and I've gone back into it. I've jumped in like 100 episodes in, and I listened to like. But then it is a bit. I skip half.
I'd never
listened
to. I'd never listened to any episodes, and then I went because a few of the boys went. Franco, you went and with a couple of the boys to see it live, didn't you? Invite me along, and I went to go see it. I thought it was funny as fuck, and I never listened to it even after that. So I don't know what sort of demographic I am in that. But
you're not a big
I don't know
sports boy, are you?
No, so like I
No,
just
don't
assumed if I was to listen in, it might not be my cup of tea because it was sports, you know,
It is
related.
Yeah, they say it is very sports heavy, so I get that. But yeah, sometimes I have a love-hate relationship with it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you guys don't have to go on. That's the whole point of the podcast. It's like someone listening to this going, oh, I don't shut about Wales, do you guys? It's like, yeah, that's kind of our MO.
Well, we boycott Ellis James now because we were the founding fathers of the Welsh History podcast. I don't care what anyone says. And then he decided to make a Welsh history, not just a Welsh history,
it's not a Welsh history
podcast. And he just is stomping on our turf. And
no, he does a history podcast, doesn't he?
I don't bloody care what he does, Frank. I've had enough.
Keep this all in.
So my next one, I'm going to move us on to my final story of the hanging judge. And not hanging like you'd say if you're like really rough, like, oh, fucking hanging.
Wait. I'm going to do another Abanos break-in and pretend I know the story and I've never heard it in my life. Is this about the Scared Inn?
Yes.
Ooh.
I win. Jake Britton.
Yeah.
So
Legend.
it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about this. And I was going to save it for a whole episode. I thought this could be a whole, but we might come back to.
Sorry, again, another Abanos break-in. We need a jingle. My cousin's grandparents are the landlords.
No way!
Oh,
So Sharon and Jeff. I think they're still
shout out
landlords.
Shaz and Jeff.
Yeah,
Shaz
absolute
and Jez.
legends.
Big shout out.
I will badmouth them slightly. I went to their pub, but obviously, family, and all that sort of stuff. I asked for a Diet Coke, and they gave me a full fat Coke as a treat.
Oh,
That doesn't work like that, guys.
Doesn't work like that. We don't waste our calories.
Boycott.
We don't have calories. Well, I hate full fat Coke. I'm a Pepsi
I
Max
don't
boy.
like it.
No.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I asked for the beverage I wanted because guess what? That's what I fucking wanted.
Yeah.
Did you walk away from that
there?
thinking, I'm fucking glad your place is haunted. I hope you get fucking bedeviled in the night.
But I'm not going to step on any more toes. But I've got one more on this before you jump into it because you wouldn't have known about this.
You wouldn't have seen this coming.
So there was a load of YouTubers that stayed there.
No way.
If you Google the Scared Inn, loads of American YouTubers. So these were American YouTubers that stayed. They wouldn't. So they spent the night. They wouldn't go upstairs.
What?
If you search, is it Exploring with Josh? Exploring with Josh. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to say it again.
Just because two scaredy pants or what?
Two scaredy pants. And this guy Exploring with Josh goes upstairs normally. That's not a social
He's a guy who is not fearful of stairs, I'm telling
He's
you.
got 4.5 million followers.
Was it Exploring with Josh? Oh, he's a biggie, yeah. He's very famous.
All those followers, he's too scared to go up a bunch of stairs.
So in that video that he did in the Scared Inn, if you watch it, he doesn't go up. They sleep in the bar. And I'm pretty sure they didn't drink.
Respect. Oh, I was about to say respect, but if they're not drinking, what's the bloody point?
Pretty sure they didn't. But yeah, anyway, over to you.
Let me just get my notes. So, this is called The Hanging Judge, which is about Wrexham-born Judge Jeffreys, who took charge of the bloody assizes trials in the 17th century. And I know diddly fuck about these trials, so I might pin them for another episode. But essentially, they led to thousands of these suspected of treason following this Monmouth rebellion, and it resulted in loads of people being burnt alive at the stake in the 17th century, or they were hung or beheaded, so pretty fucking brutal. And many of these hangings took place at this Skidded Mountain Inn, so they were like it was used to be a pub, but pubs weren't always just pubs. They could be courts. They had more than one functionality.
Yeah.
So this inn was the site of quite a few notorious hauntings due to the fact that a lot of people there got murked. And it dates back to around 900 years ago, so back in the Norman era. And the inn has had plenty of brutal deaths since then. It was home to a courtroom that presided over a real bastard of a judge who would send anyone who came in to be hung. And this fucking prick sent 180 people to their death. You're just like, nah, that's it, you're off.
Jesus.
But even
Hang
before
happy.
this judge, Owain Glyndŵr apparently used the area and the inn as a base for the Welsh revolt against Henry IV. And he'd use it to rally the troops beforehand, so be a good little fucking booze up to come on lads, let's fucking get into them. And
so he tarnished Glyndŵr's good name.
but loads of wounded soldiers would come back from battle from Glyndŵr's revolt and would come to the inn, and lots of them died because of their wounds there. So this place has had an inordinate amount of death happen within its walls.
Soaked in
So
death, yeah.
they got 2 rooms apparently upstairs. Room 2 is said to be at the mercy of a ghost of a 35-year-old Fanny Price. Fanny! But
How much is your fanny price? Doesn't work.
No,
she's
yeah.
a Fanny at a price. I was trying to think of something as well, but I had to write this down so
Yeah.
quickly.
There is
I'm
a
trying
joke
my
in
hardest.
this
Also,
somewhere.
me and
Yeah, there's a
Jack,
joke in this
we
somewhere.
love Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and
I got it. What's your fanny price?
so
There.
easy.
Jesus,
I don't know
is
why
there.
we couldn't
There
get
we
that
go,
before.
yeah.
You're a genius.
The 2 words are literally next to each other, and we couldn't fathom
But
it.
in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Little John's wife is called Fanny, and when there's a scene where she's getting saved from a burning building, and he goes, "Fanny, I want my Fanny!" And it always makes us howl. But this poor Fanny died of consumption, which I don't really know what it is, but always makes me laugh, that word.
Drink it. Is that drinking
Don't
too much?
know.
Consumption.
She died from...
No, isn't that like something to do with the lungs? Isn't it? You cough up blood or
well,
something.
It's an 18th century problem for an 18th century gal.
Too
And
much fanny consumption. Don't know what I mean by that. But it sounds
well,
great.
she
Yeah.
obviously loved the inn so much that she decided to never leave because she's apparently still kicking about. And room 1 has a bathroom that used to be a prison cell. And they say the landing is the territory of the hanging judge, Judge Jeffreys.
So in room, so the bathroom's down some steps.
Ooh.
And it's very unusual. Not very unusual. It's very odd. It feels odd walking into
What? So
it.
the toilets. So it's got a room, and you go down steps within the room to the toilet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly that.
Oh, so is it still operating now as an inn? Can you go stay there?
Yeah.
Oh, that might
Yeah.
be one.
You can spend the
might-
night, and you couldn't pay me to stay there. But
Well,
yeah,
would you
you
not?
can
Would
stay
you
the
not
night,
stay in
yeah.
a haunted place?
You know how you guys were saying? You know, you guys were saying earlier, like you don't believe in it or anything. I don't believe in it at all. Like, but I definitely wouldn't want to test it.
I would.
Do
I
you know what I
honestly,
mean?
and this isn't
It's,
bravado.
it's like I wouldn't ever do.
'cause I do.
I wouldn't do like a Ouija board either, because like I always think I don't believe in that at all. But
Well, we did
what
that at
if,
uni.
What if I fucking
Yeah.
rolled the dice? and it
Ouija
didn't
board
work?
was a board game made by the company who make board games. So it's a big board game company. Yeah.
Hasbro. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was a game because it's a lot of it's power of persuasion. So when you're there, your hands will automatically push this thing around, and it was never really used in a seancey sense. It was used as like a Ouija board was a.
Oh, was it not marketed? It must have
No.
been marketed
Well,
as that.
I think it got like somewhere along the lines that the seance aspect took over, but a Ouija board was like a parlor game because the power of suggestion, you actually push your things around like that. And when me and my friends did
Thing is, though, mate, I've watched like a lot of films that
Yeah.
would contradict that. So
Yeah.
ipso facto, I'm not going to do
I've
it.
watched
Right?
a lot of documentaries too that would contradict that.
I also watched a
Yeah.
film called Ouija
With a script.
which was
That's the exact one I'm on about.
Yeah.
I watched that one, and that didn't turn out very well for them,
No.
did it? So I'm not
I
into it.
absolutely would stay in a haunted room. I think I'm not being bravado because I get spooked out sometimes. Like me and Jack had a night of horrors, and I drove back in the car, and I was like, "Oh, it feels a bit creepy," but I love that sense of creepiness and that unease. And I think
Oh, I hate it.
if I wasn't on my own, maybe I think if one of you big lads could be with me, but if I definitely would. I think that'd be
Are
really
the three of
fun.
us going to go in top and tail? In a, like a
Yeah,
big
we're
triple
all in
bed,
bed
a
like
king
a-
bed.
Like Charlie
Yeah.
the Chocolate Parents,
It's quite
grandparents.
Like I say, the landlord and landlady are quite progressive thinkers, but I think they might frown on 3 chaps in one bed.
That's the real
Possibly.
horror
No,
story.
we're only doing
to
it because
them.
we're scared.
It is
Yeah,
quite an old
sure,
pub.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Culturally.
the scariest thing is their views and politics.
Change, yeah. They don't like that. The spookiest spectre of all. Yeah.
We're happy when we had a bloody ghost in the building.
Yeah.
Whenever we do bigot voices, we always just go northern, don't we? It's so bad at this.
Apologies to any northern listeners, but that is just our go-to for anything.
So that was my the Hanging Judge, which is I would love to go there. Now we have an inn, a literal inn. We can tell the landlords.
Those hangings sound, like you said, are worthy of an episode in themselves as well.
Yeah. We'll definitely revisit the Aziz thingy as trials.
There's series 1 or series 2 of Most Haunted.
Oh yeah.
They recorded at the Skirrid Inn, and as you walk up the stairs, there's a door. It's not a full size door, but that was said to be another prison, and that opened on its own accord during the night. And that's all that happened there as well. And I think Fanny Price's grave is in the grave behind it.
Ridiculous.
Big fat Fanny Price's.
It's
I think her grave's somewhere there as well.
Why did
If you're
all
trying to sell
Enid
it, it's
Blyton
like,
things? They're all called like Dick Hairy and like Ernest Fanny.
Yeah.
It's so
So if you're trying to promote the place to get the punters in as like a ghost story, just change the name. It doesn't have to be Fanny Price, does it?
Yeah, smelly Fanny Price.
Yeah.
Smelly Fanny Price. I'm not gonna be scared of you, even if you are a full-on apparition. Fuck off.
Another fact about that place. I don't know if it's common knowledge, but Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin drinks there.
Oh, does he love like Wales? Because I always hear Robert Plant like in North Wales. He's got.
I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's his local. But again, my cousin had put a photo on Facebook of him and Robert, casual terms, outside the pub, and I was like, oh fucking hell!
Oh,
Is that
apparently Robert Plant bought a sheep farm in Wales, and he began taking Welsh lessons and looking into the mythology of the land. And he's read the Taliesin, which is like a really famous book, like a Welsh history mythology
Taliesin's
book.
Chronicles, or whatever that is called. We should get him on the pod.
Yeah.
Slam you, Jake. I'm not slamming you here, but
can you get us in touch with him?
yeah. Listen, you're in, okay? Your cousin's grandparents? Get him on the blower, right?
Once had a photo on
over
Facebook with. Yeah, I gave it.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
If you listen to this, fuck you, Robert Plant. All right.
I don't like AC/DC. It's not my vibe. So
Led Zeppelin, yeah.
Led Zeppelin, that's the one.
Oh, mate.
I don't like AC/DC either.
No, I don't like
That's
them
like
either.
confusing fucking Italy and France.
It's because I googled it and it said Robert Plant and AC/DC's Brian Johnson walk in Wales. So I left out the Brian Johnson part. But apparently,
So is Robert Plant Welsh or is
no, he grew up close to the
English?
Welsh border. He's English, but he grew up close to the border apparently.
Hmm.
Yeah,
a convert.
Yeah, he grew up. He was born in like the Midlands, I think.
What's he doing here then? Taking over our pubs? Jesus
Walking up
Christ!
it was fine. You know what I
Go
mean?
into our haunted pubs and that. What the fuck's that about?
Are we allowed to say cunt? No,
Yeah,
surely
of course
not.
You can, yeah. We've done it a few
Fucking hell.
times, mate. We've done it. We don't care, mate. We don't care on this. We don't care about the rules.
This is 100% true. It might be worth me turning my camera on for a second. I just poured a double.
Mm-hmm.
I got distracted by the word cunt and poured another double into it.
Yes, let's have a butcher's.
Oh, mate.
That is an aggressive looking little guy.
It's looking
It looks
meaty,
like
isn't
I've got how do I turn this on?
There you go.
That now looks like Red Bull.
Oh, baby. That's a biggie.
Do you know what? I used to do that a lot with Jack, where we were talking, I'd pour the remnants in, and then when I'd go to take a gulp, thinking it was the left of my
yeah, and it was just pureness.
Pure
because
vodka,
people at
pure
home
rum
can't
or
see.
whatever,
There was a little bit of Diet Coke left in Jake's drink, so he poured in the vodka, so it looks a bit like it's just the dregs.
Looks like
of
it's
the
at the
Diet
end.
Coke.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'd pour in like the rum, and it do the same color as it. And I'd have a big swig, and it's just raw rum. Right.
strip your
Jack,
bloody
do you want to
inside
hit
of your
your
throat off.
hit us with your
Yeah,
final?
I got my last one.
While you're at it, Jack, would you mind moving your mic towards
Yeah.
your mouth
Put
again,
your
please?
mic
Oh,
next to
Christ.
your little lips.
I
I hate to be
constantly
a
moving
stickler,
it.
but it'd be quite nice to
No.
hear you.
How's this? How's this?
Marginally better.
Marginally
Bit better. Right, hang on. Let me just readjust the whole goddamn thing.
Setup.
How's this? That is literally touching my little
Fuck
lips
me,
now.
that's so strong. Not your voice. The
Weak. I've made you weak at the knees.
yeah, that's a roughie.
How's this? Is
Okay.
this coming through all right,
That's better.
lads?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
All
better.
right. So yeah, my last one is, and I'm realizing that we got some real like poor naming conventions in Wales now. The green lady, the white lady.
Yeah.
This one's the black nun.
Yeah.
It's very much just like color noun.
Yeah.
Isn't
Say
it?
it again.
So
What is it? The
it's the black nun, right?
right. I know this one
And
as well.
Yeah, this
so
is a
yeah,
big
so
one.
It's an
we
Abanos break-in. Yeah, we all know
so
this
most
one, yeah.
people,
Won't
most
even
people from
bother.
Wales will know this one. It's like, don't even bother, just shut up.
Don't
right now.
even bother.
Yeah, yeah. So this one, for those who don't know, is if you grew up in Wales, you probably went to either like Llangrannog or a place called Llanllyn
You
at some
definitely
point
went.
in your schooling, and it's like a little like what would you describe it as? Like a sort of adventure kind of place,
Summer
I don't
camp?
know.
Summer
camp
yeah.
type,
Summer camp?
summer camp type
Can I
thing.
just
You
put
do
a
you do
second?
Constantly in
dodges.
winter.
My partner's just walked in and she's got like one of those like oodies on, like when they're
I've got one. Yes.
yeah, but hers is completely white, so she's come in dressed like a little ghoul, like a little
Oh.
ghosty.
The white lady.
Terrifying.
Yeah, the white lady. Yeah, she looks all shy. Hello, my
Has she
love.
been walking through? Has she been walking through the dew? Are you going to suckle on the
She
bottom
is.
of the dress?
Yes. No. Hello, little babe. So she's making a drink of the I apologise. I'll mute myself for a second, okay? Bye.
Can I be terrible as well, Jack? Sorry to. I
Yeah,
know
sure.
we literally already started. I'm desperate for a wee. It's gone straight through.
Oh,
me.
mate, same. I'm so glad you said that. I'm going to do the same thing. Right,
perfect. All right.
back in 2
Yeah.
minutes.
T
Okay.
minus 2
I may as well have a
minutes.
shower at the same
Cheers,
time.
boys. Anyone back yet?
I'm back.
He's back. Frank's is still on mute. I can see.
Honestly, this drink is so strong.
Oh, mate, when you showed it, I was thinking, brave man doing it. I think I'd have poured half of it into another pint glass, and that'd be my next drink or something.
Well, I didn't want to cut through the recording and go downstairs and go. Oh, just 1 minute. I just need to pull this out because I'm such a lightweight.
Oh yeah, to be fair, yeah. I'm saying now, oh mate, no, it'd be
to
fine.
be
it'd
fair,
be
I would have
to-
thought that.
Now I'd have been like, oh, totally fine, mate. Yeah, absolutely not. But if you'd have done it, I'd be like, fucking Jake, what's he like?
What a kids.
Yeah, we should
What?
never invite him on here. He's a bloody double drinker. Or something, I'm not
What
sure.
the hell's going on
No,
here?
yeah, I don't. Frank, you're out.
Oh,
Mate, you're irrelevant now, mate. Me and Jake are doing the pod from now
Your
on.
mic
okay?
sounds so much better, mate.
Oh, I've right next to my gob. That's
Okay.
why.
Right, should we jump back in?
Sorry, we'll get back. We'll go back in. Sorry.
Hang on,
Yeah.
one cough.
Right.
No, it's 2 coughs. Sorry.
We'll
sorry,
take one
anyway.
back. I'm going to start proceedings with a inaugural second round can.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, hang on. I can join that.
Nice.
That
This
wasn't
drink
as
has
good,
taken
but-
the old enamel off my teeth, so you know it's a goodie.
I'm
Right.
expecting by the time I finish this story, you're going to be the harshest critic going like, well, that was shit. I've had fucking better
that
shits
was.
about.
Fucking prick.
Black nun, you sound racist, mate.
Yeah. It always does sound like slightly tinged with racism, doesn't it? It's,
Yeah.
With your white nuns, your green nuns, you're fine, but you do feel like you're stepping in slightly trouble.
Yeah, 2024. Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have to cut this all out, so just bleep it.
Yeah, that sounds, the
Yeah.
beep nun sounds a lot more offensive.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Slag nun.
Yeah,
No,
cunt
do
nun.
the beep on the nun bit, the
Yeah.
black boop. That sounds worse.
That does sound a lot worse.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hit
Who's
us up.
editing this one?
Me, probably. I don't know.
Do you take it in turns to edit?
Yeah, we try and split it, don't we?
Yeah, we're trying to split it. Yeah.
Go on, then.
Yes,
We'll
it
start
does.
from here. So it's the black nun, right?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is if you grew up in Wales, you probably went at some point to either Llangrannog or Llanllyn. I think there's another one down west as well. I can't think what it's called. But anyway, this black nun is like a common theme. If anyone who's been to these places, they've heard of the black nun, right? And I tried to look into, was this an official like folklore
Brand ambassador
legend? Yeah, a brand ambassador for Wales
on the website.
On the
Brand ambassador for
But
like,
unfortunately-
Welsh getaways.
Unfortunately, though, I found out that this was it's well known that this was a made up thing, right? Basically, one of the do you remember like the what are they called? Fucking what were they, Franco, in Glanllyn? The bloody
Swags.
swags,
Yeah.
Swags. That's what they
That's
were
it.
called in
Yeah.
Llangrannog
That's it.
as well.
Swag.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Swags. Yeah.
So
I
basically,
was
one
gonna
of the
say, Jack,
swags.
I only know this.
Yeah.
I only thought the Black Nun was related to Llangrannog. I didn't realise it spilled over to Glanllyn.
Mate. Yeah,
So what is
Glanllyn.
I don't even know what Glanllyn is.
It's essentially the same thing, mate, but it's just up north.
I think it's better
It's,
looking. It's like
ah.
it's really pretty. It's got like
Yeah.
better looking is a weird term. It's really.
You've got
It's got a huge.
You've
lake.
got like lake things, haven't you? Like you can do sailing and like rowing and stuff like that. It's like a bit more. There's like a hiking. There's like a mountain trail up there, isn't there, and shit like that.
Well, there is another one. I want to say it's at the bottom of Penavan, which was for the posh kids, and I think it was a bit more expensive. Story Arms.
Story Arms, yeah.
For the posh kids,
Story
yeah, the ones who
Arms,
can
yeah,
speak
yeah.
fluent Welsh.
No, I think
Gogledd Welsh.
Story Arms.
That-
I remember it's like scouts go there. I remember seeing a bunch of.
No.
Well, I once saw scouts there, and I think it's like a.
So I'm
you
pretty
lucky
sure it is.
sod.
Yeah.
No, I think I thought it was more like exclusive or more expensive.
I think it's
might be
related to the hostel and international community. You know, like it's called Hostel International. It's like if you go traveling, you can stay. They're called like high hostels. They're really cheap. And I think it's related to that because I had a mate come down and stay, and he went to go stay there. But this isn't interesting, so I'll shut my
Anyway,
mouth.
yeah. So as I was saying, one of those swags apparently, it's well known that he, like a swag, he or she, whoever it was, made this thing up so it would keep the kids, because you're quite young when you go to this Llangrannog Glanllyn. It was to like keep the kids in their rooms at night and stop like fucking about, basically. But anyway, I couldn't find this official recounting. So, my personal experience was when I went there, someone said that the Black Nun was like always on the lookout for for fresh meat, was always
Same.
on the lookout for kiddies, yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, if you stayed in your bed all night, you'd be fine. So the
That's what I
classic,
heard,
like,
yeah.
you know, your impervious under your duvet trick that works on like any ghoul or fucking demon.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it was a kind of vague ghost story. But because I couldn't find like an official telling, I found this Reddit thread, and it was like loads of Welsh guys and girls or whoever like saying what their experiences of the Black Nun were when they went to Llangrannog or Glanllyn or wherever. So I cherry picked like some of the best ones. So this guy called Alwyn 1989, he said he was told that when he went there that the Black Nun would steal your eyes if you saw her in a mirror.
Ooh, that's
And I
quite
thought that's pretty specific though, isn't it? Like, see her face to face, no problem. I got no fucking business.
But shit
with you.
yourself and then move on,
yeah,
sort of thing. Yeah.
But I'll literally blind you if you see me in a mirror or a reflection. I'll blind you. That seems a bit intense. The next guy I
Wait,
saw.
Jack, were you allowed to
well,
mention that your probably we cut this out, but your cousin Glass is in prison for blinding someone?
Oh, we can do, yeah, if you like. I mean, I doubt he's the podcasting sort.
This feels like it's not going to make it.
Jack's got a really
Yeah.
scary, like proper fucking, like really, really like hard cousin who who's
Yeah.
off his head.
You know, like Brawl in Cell Block 99, like that sort of level of of like guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got
he
quite a few
he
hard
blind.
family members, but he's specifically fucking.
Yeah, I'm not one of
terrifying.
them, and I'm not very associated with them. But he blinded someone with a pint glass, if I recall.
Yeah.
That was
Maybe
Was he
he's-
drunk?
that was like his third offence, I think.
Maybe he's a.
Was he
part of
drunk
Blackman.
or
Maybe. I mean, the pint glass
Must
probably a
have been.
giveaway, isn't it? Yeah, it's dead giveaway. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's one of those things where when you hear that kind of story, I've had anxiety waking up the next day when I've drunk too much. I've
Yeah,
done nothing
100%,
wrong,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Maybe accidentally piss myself, you know,
Yeah.
a little bit of banterous pissing.
Yeah.
But to
Slightly
wake
annoying
up
text
knowing
to
you
someone.
fucking blind someone,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Imagine you text
Christ.
in the boys' group and go, "Oh, was I a mess last night?" They went, "Oh, mate, you did blind that guy with a pint
Yeah,
glass."
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Just think of that
oh.
poor innocent person.
Instantly blind.
Yeah.
That poor bastard went out that night and went, "I fancy a couple of jars with my mates tonight," or maybe on his own, who knows? And then just next day, sorry mate, you can't see anymore.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Instant blindage.
Yeah, it's like you've looked at the Black Nun in a reflection. You know what I mean? You've paid the same price. But
What's
the
the
next
edit
one I
point that
found-
we're going back into the Black Nun? Is it in 3, 2,
Yeah.
1?
No.
And we're
Yeah.
back.
So, anyway, yeah. Well, the next one I found was a guy called Abilug, and he said,
Abanos, who? Stealing my
no,
name?
not a, no, yeah. And he said they were told that just seeing her shadow alone would make your bones curl up and your hair fall out. And I thought that next bit, the last bit there, the hair fall out. Would you care your hair was falling out if your bones were curling?
Yeah.
I don't think you'd really care, would you?
No.
No, probably not.
I'd rather
In a
uncurl
wheelchair,
bones
but I'm
than-
bald. I'd be like, I'm more
Yeah.
pissed off about the wheelchair.
It's-
My bones.
It is
curled.
kicking you while you're down, I suppose, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit much. The
And then
next
she
one I had-
farts on you.
Yeah.
Sort of,
yeah. And then she takes a picture, you sends it to your mates, and you don't look very flattering because you know, why'd you got to do it, the Black Nun? Why? And then the next one I got was from Welsh Hobbit 1, and they
Patriot.
said, of absolute patriot, yeah. They were told the Black Nun would sneak into your room at night, hover above you while you slept, and if you woke up, she would tie your tongue in a knot so you could never scream.
Oh, the Welsh knot.
Ooh, the old Welsh knot, yeah.
crikey.
Don't harken back to that. And then this last one, I hope you guys get a kick out of this as much as I did. It caught me off guard, actually. It took me like way too long to actually realise what was going on here. A guy called Lewis Roberts. They said, my story is from 1992. The Black Nun witnessed a murder by her mafia boyfriend, so had to go into hiding in an inner city church where she taught all the other nuns to sing show tunes. Yeah, I read that and went,
Ladies
"Oh."
tonight.
Yeah, yeah. I read that and went like, that is so funny. Like, what's that from? Like, that's so hilarious. And I went, hang on, it's Sister Act. He's done the old Sister Act joke.
Oh, is it
And-
Sister Act?
Yeah,
it is.
it's Sister Act.
Oh,
It's the
Black
premise
Nun,
of Sister
right,
Act.
got it,
Yeah.
got it,
fuck
got
it.
it.
I didn't just realise that
Oh,
then as well. Jesus.
I thought you guys had got it because you guys were all laughing. I thought they got it. They got it way quicker than me. But there we are. That's my Black Nun medley.
Well, I remember going to Llangrannog, and I was they've got bunk beds. So you both went to Llangrannog.
Yeah. Couple
Yeah.
of
Loved
times.
skiing.
Veterans. Oh yeah, the fucking that's
Veterans,
skiing.
yeah.
Skiing on what's
Falling
essentially
over.
what's that like? It's like that thing you scrub
It's
pots and
fucking
pans with, like really.
Carpet,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah, iron wool, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's iron wool.
What are those? Yeah, like a scrubber. What is there an official name for those
Scourer?
things?
Scourer.
Scourer.
Yeah.
Scourer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take your face off.
I was going to say, you
um,
didn't want to skid down and fucking take your knee on one
No.
of them, would you? That'd be oof.
Well, I did. I remember falling over, and it's a vivid memory of falling over and just really mildly hurting myself. But I remember the bunk beds being graffitied with the Black Mun. Oh,
Yeah.
can we cut that out?
That's staying in.
I remember leaning back in the bunk beds on like day one and looking up, and there was graffiti underneath the bed above me, and it said the Black Nun was here, and I
Yeah.
shit my pants. I
Yeah.
remember that, yeah. But I've got a stepdaughter which is 12, and I think she went to Llangrannog when she was 10, maybe 11, very recently. And I told her about the Black Nun. So it's the parents perpetuating this absolutely true story.
I remember.
You got to do it.
I was a cowardly child growing up. I used to get scared and like all the time. I even like adolescent when I saw the film Signs and The Descent. That entire summer.
Jesus.
Oh,
was
that
fucking-
one scene in Signs.
Yeah, when
Awful.
when he prances
When he
past the
walks
window
across-
in Brazil.
Yeah.
it's fucking
Yeah,
terrifying.
I bet you didn't say it. I bet you didn't call it prancing back
I
then.
did that to
Oh, no.
When he strode
decompartmentalize.
terrifyingly. Yeah.
No,
Just-
Jake, mate. When me and Franco watched that together in a friend's house, right?
Yeah.
And then we went in teams to the toilet because it was a big house and we didn't want to be in the dark on our
Yeah.
own. So
And the guy's house was
That
weird.
is genius.
He was a bit of a
That is
weird
genius.
kid. He lived like in a farmhouse in like Bourneville or not Bourneville. That's a chocolate place.
was it
Yeah,
Sigurdston?
that's where the
Sigurdston?
Coronation Street
Yeah.
intro from 20 years ago.
No.
Dogs came from.
It's Bombillston or something like that, but it's like proper in the middle of nowhere. So we were fucking like, scared, cowardly little cuthberts together, and we used to sneak to the toilets and we'd kiss. It's all
Yeah,
right.
that was nothing. That's what you said
Any
to me, wasn't it? You
photos
said
or videos of that,
you
lads?
have to kiss me because the aliens. You have to kiss me. That's what you said.
Yeah,
It
because
is
the black nun
homophobic.
can travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll leave us alone if we're a bit gay. Yeah, it's fine.
Kissing's fine. The black nun condones it.
Yeah, I'll take my house out.
She's not actually Catholic. She likes it.
Yeah. She's running from the mafia. All right, she's running from the mafia.
Well, I think I think that's probably the most famous Welsh,
It's got to be.
but yeah, Welsh spirit. So it's apt to have that as our final story.
It's one of those ones, isn't it, where like permeates through culture. Like when everyone knew before the internet.
Yeah.
Everyone in school was talking about how
Yeah,
Marilyn
viral.
Manson
Yeah.
took a couple of ribs out to suck his own knob. Like that just happened spontaneously in every school.
Yeah, I sort of think that is like I like to think those things still exist outside of the internet, like spooky stories like when kids go to these like summer camps or whatever, they'll still have like all these spooky things, and that's still something that permeates through like the generational divides.
Well, like you
Absolutely.
said, Jake, you're perpetuating these things. You know,
Yeah, and
the
I
next
was
generation.
really,
You've got
I
to be
was
doing it.
really aggressively for the truth of the black nun. She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, we've heard about it. Doesn't exist." Like, are you mental?
Yeah.
She tried
Did
to
you do
knock
the
me out when I
classic?
was there last time.
Did you do the classic thing where
Yeah.
no, I had a mate who saw it. His tongue's tied now.
Yeah.
He can't bloody
Yeah,
speak.
I
You know,
was
he's-
I was skiing. She said I was shit at skiing. I felt really embarrassed.
yeah.
She's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a nasty piece of work, that black nun.
no, bless her.
I have got another little. It's not related at all to it. But before I went to Llangrannog, can you remember there was a TV show called Believe It or Not or True or False, and it was terrifying, and it wasn't called either of those things.
Kind of.
What was it called? But it was true stories. And
Are
anyway,
you afraid of the dark?
No, that was legendary.
I used to
When
love
they
that,
used to
yeah.
throw the little bit of dust on the fire.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
No, I can't remember what it's called.
Wow. That's what they used to do, isn't it?
But it was true stories, and they were talking about this story where there was a similar thing, a summer camp or whatever Llangrannog is categorized as, and it was in France, and there was a girl. It was an all girls room, and somebody snuck through the window and tried to take her away, I think. So they all started screaming,
Oh Christ.
and the swogs came in, but in French, so swoogs. Is that right?
Swoogs, yeah.
Is that
Swogs.
French? Absolutely not.
to
Swog in French.
non-
Someone
to
Google what
non-Welsh
swog in
people-
French is.
To non-Welsh
Le
people,
Swoog?
like
Swig.
swogs, by the way, to non-Welsh people are like just the prefects, if you like. So when you
Slightly
say like
older
the
than
swogs
people
come in,
there.
Yeah.
they're not like an
Teachers.
elite security force that could do anything. They're
The
like
death squad.
17-year-olds, maybe.
They're about 6 months older than the people that are actually there.
Yeah. And they were
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
virgins of the year they're in, the absolute dweebs of their year.
Virgins.
Yeah.
Virgins.
No
Um,
self-respecting like high schooler would ever sign up to be a swag, would they? Unless they had a
Which is
fucking
mad because
social
they were
death
seen as
wish.
quite cool, but you're right.
Yeah. When
A couple of years later, when I was like, "Do you want to be a swag?" Absolutely not.
No, I'm not. That's social suicide. There's no chance of
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this girl, the little French perpetrator escaped through the window, and this is a true story. Ran out the
Christ.
window. I think they called the police, but they didn't turn up. Classic. Ugh, God, what are they like?
Yeah.
Satire.
Fun and cuts, am I right?
Couldn't catch a cold, you know what I mean?
So the girl was so scared. Oh no! Maybe they didn't believe that there was a man in there. Like I said, I'm trying to remember something from from when I was 11. But
oh God, you're
they
about to regress and tell us something awful happened.
I was the French
I was the girl. Yeah.
Bon bloody jour.
Yeah, you started the episode off with a bonjour, and now it's all coming.
Oh
true.
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, harks back. So
The black man's
girl,
triggered you.
the girl was so scared that they stayed up and played board games until she calmed down and fell asleep. They went back to bed. The criminal man came back through the window and took her after they went back to bed. So he was just staring. That is 100% true from my memory. Watching something that might not have been true on the telly years ago.
Well,
I hope you didn't
when
tell
I
your
was
bloody
younger-
stepdaughter that, mate. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Black Nun was all fun and games, but let me tell you something
But the
real
real
that happened
horrors-
before you go away.
the real
The real horrors
Yeah.
is a French opportunist.
When I was younger, my mum wanted us to it was like she didn't have much money and really just wanted us out of the house for a bit, like during the summer because she was working, and she sent us to like a youth
Working from home, probably, back then.
I think
Remote.
just
On
working
Teams.
She was working in a bookies, but she's never gambled in her life. But she sent me and my brother and sister to it was called Paul Young's Christian Church Camp, and it was in I
Sounds
swear,
right up your street.
I know, and the least
No,
religious
rock and roll.
person, but it was more just a place to send loads of people who had not much money, and they would go to Somerset in this big old school for the time, right? And but
The
because it's
church trying to look at vulnerable children to try and get them
Yeah,
indoctrinated.
it's-
Yeah.
It's classic. Well, we'll take kids off you for
yeah.
free. Yeah, they just pay with their
Yeah,
soul.
for free. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got there, and
Did you baptise my child? No,
You
wouldn't have
know.
dreamed of it.
he looks soaking. It's not water. But I was, we were in Somerset in this big old
Fucking hell, Frank, that's mental. Fine. Fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
we were in this big old school, and at nights they'd have these cinema nights or whatever. But obviously the locals knew the school was being inhabited by a bunch of crizzos, and they turned up with loads of the mask from Screen. And in the 90s, that was really everywhere. You could
Terrifying.
Get, and you get it for Halloween.
Yeah.
About 20 kids turned up in these masks, and they were banging on the windows, and all these Christians had to try and keep us safe and keep us in one room.
You're fucking children of the corn
It
or
was
something like
fucking
that.
terrifying. I was so scared. I was physically sick. I was actually sick.
I'm starting to feel a bit sick now, thinking about it.
I thought so. Then they gave me. I went to see the person because we went to our bedroom. We were sleeping on the floor in classrooms. That's That's fucking mental when I'm thinking about it. So we all you're in about 5 people to a classroom.
Where was this? Where was it?
It was somewhere in Somerset. But do you know when you're 10, you don't know where anything is by your area.
No.
You're on about.
So-
You're bloody on about Jake regressing something.
I know,
You're
I
gonna
know,
be
it's
going
just
like,
coming to
and they
me
said
now.
the only way to make the demons go away was to do
I know.
this
But,
horrible
so
thing. Yeah.
Everyone, it was 5 people from the age of say 8 to 12, and then they had a swag in the room with you to be a bit with the adult.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Swag turns up,
Swag
obviously.
turns-
Christ.
I remember
Probably arranged the whole
Of course.
thing.
Yeah. I was sick.
Yeah.
I went down to see the actual adults, and they were like, "Oh, here you go," and they gave me 2 tablets to help with my sickness. And the next day they
Oh,
told me
where's this going,
Well,
Franco?
tablets,
and then
hang on,
and then I
what is
felt
this,
really
Michael Jackson's
sleepy.
Ranch?
They
Yeah.
told me the next day the tablets were just Tic Tacs, but they worked. But then I told my mum, I called on the payphone. I said, "Oh yeah, I was homesick last night," because I thought that's what being homesick was, when you're sick away from home, not that you were missing home. And she got really
Oh,
upset.
God.
She thought I missed her loads.
Yeah. Oh, Frank, what happened? Oh, we almost got murdered by the guy from Scream.
Yeah.
But
I
there wasn't
thought you were
one,
gonna
there was
say
hundreds of
then.
them.
Yeah. I can't believe I completely forgot about all of that.
I think I phoned my mum and I said, yeah, it's all right. The priest gave me a couple of tablets. I fell right
Yeah, I
off.
fell asleep
It's,
for 24 hours.
Bit of a
Name
sore
is
bum
things.
in the morning. But
I don't know
yeah,
where
no
I was,
worries.
but I know we visited a Shetland horse
Ah,
theme
that's how they
park.
do it. Grooming.
Yeah,
Yeah, grooming.
Literal
literally.
grooming.
Yeah.
Groom the horses, groom the
Literally,
kids. That's
yeah.
their fucking MO, isn't it?
I think we've
Yeah,
lost.
scoop his hooves out.
Yeah, we've
We've lost sight of where this was going. Yeah.
We're at an hour and a half, so we might make this a 2-parter. But should we wrap up and say?
Two-parter.
Yeah, we tend to do about 45 minutes an epi, so this could be. It could be a 2. No, we'll make it a 1er. We'll make it a 1er. Anyway,
Yeah, once you edit it down, it'll probably be 120. We'll be all right.
yeah, we'll be fine.
We had a 5-minute break.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And all that racist stuff Jake was saying, we have to get rid of that. That was just not on.
Yeah, we got to
Yeah,
cut that out.
homophobic, racist stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
The black
Won't be
nun,
the
Whoopi
TikTok ambassador
Goldberg.
for Wales long after that. I'm telling you.
Thank you so much, Jake, for coming on. It's been an absolute
No,
blessing.
thank you.
thank you,
Honestly,
I'm going to get you back on again. You're an absolute hoot.
just to let you know, honestly, lads, I listen to your podcast. I fucking love it.
Legend.
So thank you so much, genuinely.
Diolch yn fawr. Thank you
It's
so
been a
much for
laugh.
coming on.
Absolute laugh.
Jack,
And
I'd
also,
love
Dave-
to thank you and listen to you as well, but I can't hear a word you're saying. The mic
Oh,
is
for
again
God's
by
sake.
your groin.
Honestly, so close again. I was about to say we should go for a pint sometime as we're all Cardiff boys, but now you've just fucked that. You've pissed on the chips. That's it. Done.
Fine, Jake.
Pull me up on my mic technique.
You can
Yeah.
get Jake on Instagram at Jake_Abanos, and on TikTok it's just Abanos with 2 S's. And you could go give him a follow if you don't already.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
drop us the reviews. We say every week. Drop us 5 stars, tell your mates. Get around our socials. It's Tales for Wales, the number 4, and Diolch yn fawr am gwrando. Thank you so much.
My only request is don't follow me.
What?
Join the Patreon, guys.
Oh, we weren't even going to plug it
Oh,
on
you
this.
darling.
Oh,
You
were we not?
absolute
All right,
darling.
okay, yeah.
Out
Well,
of respect for
don't
you,
worry about it then.
Out of respect for you, we weren't even going to be the plug-in holes.
You're doing this shit for free, right?
Yeah.
I'm the prick that listens for free. I'm not on the Patreon.
We don't
and I
mind.
feel like a fraud.
We
yeah,
just-
no.
Oh, mate.
Everyone,
We
pay
We
for God's
weren't
sake.
even going to be chasing the Yankee dollar today, but if you're gonna plug it for us, I mean, come on, don't let
Absolutely.
Jake down. Don't let Jake down.
What did you
Give us
get,
your hard-earned
Jack?
cash.
What was it? A 4-pack of Carlin? What's that? That's £5 these days.
Exactly. Never mind buying a
Crikey.
coffee. Buy us a fucking 4-pack of cans. Come on, guys.
Exactly.
Well, diolch yn fawr, everyone. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next week.
Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Ta-ra.
Diolch o. Ta-ra, ta-ra, ta-ra.
Bye bye.